Hello, I'm Richard Mize, real estate editor for the Oklahoman and newsok.com, talking with Dusty Hutchison, chairman of the Spring Parade of Homes, and Rusty Appleton, executive director of the Central Oklahoma Home Builders Association, which has put on the Parade of Homes once or twice a year for 60 or 70 years almost. Talk about it. When does it start? Where are the homes?
The Parade of Homes starts this Friday, the April 28th, 29th, and 30th. It runs from 1 to 7 p.m. daily. The second weekend will be May 5th, 6th, and 7th. Again, 1 to 7 daily. Are
these concentrated in one or two neighborhoods, or are they scattered around the metro? Kind of tell me where they are.
No, Richard, the great thing about the parade is it features home builders all across the metro. So we actually have, I think, 4 or 5 different regions that we have. We have Edmond, Northwest, East, and Norman. Do we have Norman?
Mm-hmm.
And Southwest, I believe. So no, we have a really good showing of all of the product throughout the neighborhood. Throughout the city.
There are 2 featured homes, however.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me who built them and where they are.
Bill Roberts of the Roberts Group is showing in Edmond. He has a neighborhood called Camden Park. He has one of his homes there. And then also Steve Allen with Allen Style Homes has a neighborhood called Princeton Park, where he has his feature home.
These are well-established builders. They're not new guys. Nothing against any
Certainly.
new guys, but these guys have been doing it for a while.
Right.
They know what the market wants, and they're pretty good at delivering it, aren't they?
That's correct.
Let's talk about what makes this more than just a sidewalk sale. I call it a sidewalk sale for home builders because, in effect, that's what it is. Come look at our product and buy one.
Sure.
But what makes it a celebration of home building in the industry as well?
Well, Richard, we try to make it fun for the public as well. You know, one of the things that we're doing is adding a drawing. So if you go to paradeofhomesok.com and download your free ticket, you get entered to win a $1,000 gift certificate from Metro Appliances and more. Also, the Cadillac dealers of Oklahoma City have parked the latest and greatest Cadillac models at our featured homes in Princeton Park and Camden Park as well. So if you're not just interested in new home construction, but you like cool cars, or maybe you just want to get $1,000 to spend at Metro Appliances, you know, there's that you can take advantage of as well.
That's fun. That's kind of like some of the things I was looking up a while ago on the old 1952, 1953 parades of homes where they're doing fun things like giving away a Westinghouse steam iron for every 10th or something person that came through a home. And let me see, air conditioning was big in 1955.
Still big.
It's still
It
big,
was the
yeah.
first time, though, that it was described as being the rule rather than the exception. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
What's a new big thing that's big this year? It doesn't have to be brand new, but what's a trend? Could be. What's post granite? We've talked about it.
Post
before.
granite. Okay, so
What's
quartz.
after granite?
Quartz has
That's right.
actually come into its own. I've actually been using quartz for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Which I didn't realize I was ahead of my time, but it's actually coming. It's pretty.
We're talking about countertops.
Yeah, for countertops in the kitchen, the bathrooms. The nice thing about quartz is you can put. Everyone always gets concerned about temperature and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you're going to make something that's 900 degrees, but you have higher heat tolerances with quartz in your kitchens and countertops. Your kitchen countertops and your cabinets, in your bathrooms. And as far as the manufacturing of them, the color variations that you have is just, it's basically anything that you want.
That's kind of a recent thing, isn't it? I mean, the explosion of colors is fairly recent, I think.
Yeah, quartz used to be pretty limited. A lot of times it was used in commercial applications where it was restaurants where you'd have wild colors. You'd have the reds and the lime greens and blues. But now it's actually come full circle and it's toned down. They actually have a lot of quartz that are meant to mimic granites now. So you have that durability and everything that you have with quartz that you don't always have with granite. So,
Granite can stain, can't it? I mean, it's porous.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Not easy to necessarily, but
It just depends on what granite you choose. The lighter ones tend to be softer and a little bit more porous, as opposed to the darker ones are a little bit more dense.
this just in from 1954. Daily winners of drawings at the Parade of Homes were winning Westinghouse coffee makers and roaster ovens, as well as steam irons.
Right.
I think that's cool. What else are we looking at? Carport space was a special emphasis in 1953. Patios and carport space. Sliding doors on all closets, huge in 1953. I just loved looking at all these old things. Oh, and one of the most interesting things to me was naming contests. Builders would have a floor plan and not have a name for it, and then they would let people enter their suggestions for floor plan names. American Heritage was a winner in 1953. The Compact was a winner. Contemporary, 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 Contemporary. That seems like a wingtip, not a wingtip and a what's on the back of cars?
Air spoiler.
Yeah, that kind of era, right? It even went to the language. And the Carefree for a John W. Johnston house, which must have been
Free.
But is that one of the Johnston's builders now?
It
Has
might
to
be.
I bet it is.
Very well.
And the Grenadier was another great name. So anyway, there's all kinds of ways that the builders have made this a fun thing, aside from just, again, a sidewalk sale to come by our houses. Plus the looky-loos are always welcome, right? For
Right, and you
design
know,
ideas.
not only are there design ideas, but you can kind of see some of the latest and greatest in energy efficiency things that some of our builders are doing now. I know that you know there are more products on the market than ever before to store energy in the event of a power outage. A lot of our builders are building super tight homes that are really just the latest in energy efficiency standards as well. So there's just a whole lot to see, even if you're not in the market for a home, just to learn about our industry as well as latest and greatest in design ideas like you mentioned.
Let's go over go ahead.
Speaking of that, tankless hot water heaters are a huge item that people have been putting in the past few years, and
Just saves
they're
energy.
great.
It saves energy
They
and
do
it's
save energy.
convenient, right?
Plus, you have hot water forever. I have 3 kids at home, so having hot water whenever I want to take a shower is key. And as far as looky-loos you mentioned, I actually look forward to the looky-loos. I don't call them looky-loos, but there's probably 30 couples that come to every one of my shows every year, and they always act like I don't know who they are when they come in. They're like, "Oh, we're just looking." I know you're just looking. I recognize you. Anyway, I look forward to them. I like to see the people that come out every year because I like to know the people that actually follow my work.
Right.
They may not be wanting to buy this year. They may not ever buy, but eventually something's going to happen there, and if nothing else, a relationship's formed. And that's a nice thing about the parade every year, is being able to see the people actually come out.
And it points up something that is distinctive for this market, I think, for the size of the city. These are not huge production home builders, but they're not so far removed from the product that they can't take questions.
That's an
and
incredibly
answer them.
good point,
Yeah.
Because Oklahoma City is unique in terms of a market our size. Usually in a market our size, you might have 5 or 6 production builders that build 90% of all the houses.
Right.
Here, we do have those production builders, and they build great homes as well, but we have such a diverse pool of builders with diverse styles and diverse techniques, so you can really find something that speaks to you. And so it really is a blessing here in our market.
And quiz the builder about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, the
It's
builder
very
himself.
personal. It's a personal thing here in this town.
most of the time, your builder's going to be who you interact with.
Right.
If not throughout the entire process, like in my situation, you'll at least interact with them at some point during your build process.
All right, let's go over the dates and times again.
Friday, April 28th through 30th, and then the next weekend is May 5th through 7th.
1 to 7 p.m.
1 to 7 p.m.
sir.
The homes will be open.
Where do I find a map or a book?
You can get your ticket and a map of all the homes at paradeofhomesok.com. You can also find the Parade of Homes guidebook at racks next to the Oklahoman in racks all over the city.
All right, thank you very much. This is Dusty Hutchison, Chairman of the Parade of Homes, and Rusty Appleton, Executive Director of the Central Oklahoma Home Builders Association. Thank you, guys. I'm Richard Mize with the Oklahoman and NewsOK.com.